news kind of moderately interesting? Maybe. Let's see. We might have a war with Iran. That's kind of interesting. I'd say out of 10 on the interesting meter, today's like a 5, maybe like a 5.5. Let's get into it. So is Israel about to strike Iran? Iran is playing a very dangerous nuclear game. The foreign minister says that they are considering, yes, considering, whether to join the next round of nuclear talks with the U.S. This comes after Supreme Leader Khamenei already said that those talks probably won't be effective. He also said that the U.S. demand for Iran not to enrich uranium is a big mistake. Probably because Iran wants nukes and the U.S. doesn't want them to have nukes. It sounds like a stalemate, an impasse. Now here's the kicker. CNN's reporting that the U.S. intel thinks Israel's gearing up to hit Iran's nuclear facilities, like soon. Just since that report dropped, oil prices already spiked because the market's freaking out about a potential Middle East meltdown. So what was Iran's response? They're calling it psychological propaganda, accusing the U.S. of leaking intel just to pressure Iranian negotiators into making a deal. According to the same report, Israel's been moving missiles and running air drills. CNN says that it reached out to the National Security Council and the Israeli Prime Minister's office. The Israeli embassy in D.C. didn't comment. But here's what they did get. A mystery U.S. official saying that Israel has always believed that the only way to stop Iran is with military action. But now, JFeed got a response from a senior Israeli security official. And here's what he told us. He said that the claim that the U.S. has gathered intelligence indicating the IDF is preparing to strike Iran's nuclear facilities is disconnected from reality. And frankly, it's not even news. He says that Israel and the U.S. maintain close intelligence coordination, so there's no need for intelligence gathering between allies. He told JFeed that the IDF has been prepping for a potential operation against Iran for over 15 years. This isn't something new. It's a well-known strategic posture. He said that troop movements and exercises and deployments are simply routine, and portraying this as something unusual is misleading. Well, there you have it. It's a battle of the U.S. and Israeli officials. Time will tell, though, so let's sit tight. Anyway, Israel is finally letting humanitarian aid trucks into Gaza through the Kerem Shalom crossing. 93 of them yesterday, packed with flour, baby food, medical supplies. It's the third day in a row, by the way, after an 11-week blockade. Now, you'd think that the whole world would be throwing a parade right now, but nope. Doctors Without Borders are still calling it a smokescreen and ridiculously inadequate. 93 trucks is a lot of trucks, especially when it's going to feed the very people who chant from the river to the sea and want all of Israel to simply get out of Israel. The new Pope, Leo XIV, didn't waste a second either, jumping in to say that the situation is concerning and saddening. Sir Pope, have you ever tried coordinating aid while Hamas is stealing it in order to resell it just to fund their next rocket party? Didn't think so. Now, the EU is already publicly talking about ripping up their partnership agreement with Israel because, shocker, they think Israel's not doing enough. The EU foreign minister called the aid a just drop in the ocean. And Israel fully pulled out of Gaza in 2005. Do you know how long it was before the first rocket was fired from Gaza after they pulled out? Not even 24 hours later, 2 Qassam rockets, one landed in Sderot and the other in Kibbutz Yad Mordechai. These are the people that Israel is expected to help. The Palestinians could have spent their time building up Gaza, focusing on their economy, gaining goodwill worldwide, and today they could have their own state. But nope. Meanwhile, many activists from a group called Tzav 9, Tzav Tesha, tried to block the trucks at Kerem Shalom, saying that it's national suicide to help Gaza while Hamas holds 58 hostages. Still, have yet to hear a good argument as to why this isn't the case. Regardless, Israeli cops arrested 2 Israelis for messing with their aid operation. Israel arresting Israelis for attempting to stop the aid flow into Gaza. Don't get me started. Also, you remember how yesterday the UN said that 14,000 babies are at risk of dying? Well, today they quietly walked it back. But unfortunately, the lies have already spread. Yesterday, Trump made some statements about his new Golden Dome project inspired by Israel's Iron Dome defense system. China didn't like it. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said that the project undermines global stability. The minister called on the U.S. to abandon the new missile defense system, not attack system. Come on, Trumpy, don't defend yourself. You're good. What do you need stability for? We're not going to harm you. Just relax. Trump claimed that the system's deployment would begin before the end of his White House term in 2029. Quietly, while all of this is going on, Russia and Iran have ratified a 20-year deal. Iran has been supplying its Shahed drones to Russia since the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. These are the same drones that Iran launched against Israel, and Russia has been offering its support in Iran's nuclear programs. This new deal will strengthen both military and economic ties in an attempt to cut out any necessity of the U.S. The Red-Green Alliance, which is mainly Iran, Russia, and China, has been fairly quiet, but now they'll be training together, offering economic support to one another, and a shared coordination against threats. Which threats? Well, as of now, the threats are really Israel and the U.S. So very interesting to see how all of this will be playing out. In lighter news, sort of, Israel's premier airline, El Al, is laughing all the way to the bank. Their first quarter profits jumped 19%, even as foreign airlines like Air France and Transavia keep on canceling flights to Israel. But that's precisely why they're making bank. El Al is the world's most secure airline with crazy technology on board, like anti-missile defense systems and flares. Almost every pilot is ex-Air Force, so they're capitalizing on this to make sure that while every other airline is still scared to fly, El Al will continue to. So that is the interesting and some not so interesting news coming out of the Middle East. Alliances are forming, officials are arguing, God runs the show, don't ever forget it. But you've been updated, so now you can also be a political expert at the family dinner table. For JFeed.com, I'm Simcha Brodsky. This has been Overnight Israel. Catch you and all of your imaginary and not so imaginary friends next time.